In civil case number CL 2019-2911, Mr. Depp's claim against Ms. Heard. 1. As to the statement appearing in the online op-ed entitled, "Amber Heard, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change." In the Washington Post online edition, quote, "I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change," end quote. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes.
Welcome back. We're turning our attention back to the Johnny Depp defamation case. Of course, on Wednesday, the jury sided with Johnny Depp on all 3 of his claims against his ex-wife, Amber Heard. They ended up awarding him $15 million. It was reduced down to just over 10. And the jury also awarded Amber Heard $2 million. The verdict was a much different outcome than the 2020 UK trial where Johnny Depp sued the Sun newspaper for calling him a wife beater. He lost that. Tonight, we were very excited. We were going to dive into the differences between London and the U.S. with Amber Heard's attorney, Elaine Bredehoff, but last minute she bailed on an interview with our Chanley Painter. We're hoping to talk to her early next week. She did talk about the differences, though, in the U.S. and the U.K. cases on the Today Show.
We had an enormous amount of evidence that was suppressed in this case that was in the UK case. In the UK case, when it came in, Amber won, Mr. Depp lost.
Technically, the Sun won. Amber didn't win. But what is this mountain of evidence that she's talking about? Well, we do know that some of it that wasn't allowed in the U.S. trial included some text messages following that flight from Boston to Los Angeles that both Johnny Depp and Amber Heard testified about and told very different stories about. Well, Court TV's Julia Janae dug into that evidence and has more.
Another perspective of the Boston plane incident was never seen by the jury. Documents obtained by Court TV reveal text messages exchanged just after that controversial trip. Exhibit number 229, entered as evidence in the libel case in the United Kingdom, was barred as hearsay from the Virginia trial. This text from Depp's phone to his then-wife Amber Heard reads, "Once again, I find myself in a place of shame and regret. My illness somehow crept up and grabbed me." Heard alleges Depp kicked her during a vicious fight on that flight to Boston in May of 2014.
I feel this boot in my back. He just kicked me in the back. No one said anything. No one did anything. It was like you could hear a pin drop on that plane. You could feel the tension, but no one did anything.
Depp denies ever physically assaulting his partner.
I'm sorry, he's sorry, he feels bad, yes, because any other answer, it would turn into World War III.
Heard's attorney aimed to discredit the movie star by presenting text messages like this one from Depp's personal assistant, Stephen Deuters, to Amber Heard. It reads, "Hey, he's up. He's much better, clearer. He doesn't remember much, but we took him through all that happened. He's sorry, very sorry." Later, Deuters writes, "Depp was appalled. When I told him he kicked you, he cried."
You asked Mr. Deuters to communicate with her on your behalf, correct?
I don't know what you're talking about.
After the Boston plane flight, you had Mr. Deuters communicate with Miss Heard, correct?
When I'm asked what to do, I said placate her, just placate her like we always do.
Deuters never testified, so with Depp on the witness stand for the second time, here's what happened when Amber Heard's defense attorney tried to show those texts from Depp's assistant to the jury.
Your Honor, I think you know where I'm going here, and based on Mr. Depp's testimony, I'd move for the admission of Exhibit 229.
Your Honor, can we please approach?
Sure. After that sidebar, attorney Ben Rottenborn moves on, and those texts stay out of evidence.
I knew that she would say that. I mean, I knew that she would say that she had issues with, him with drugs and alcohol.
Depp's sister, Christy Dombrowski, who testified and sat in the gallery for closings, also fired away messages to Heard about the Boston incident. She urged the couple to work things out. Could be things get better from all of this. I want to help you both. Heard responds, sounding defeated. I'm not going to keep falling back into the same patterns that always repeat themselves. If he truly gets help, then I hope he would come to find me. Meanwhile, in a separate string of texts, Depp's messages sound first remorseful, then indignant that Heard hasn't returned his call. I'm out. I'm done. Her actions have added more drama than necessary. And when was I unhealthy exactly? When I was not sober for a day? I guess that's what people call falling off the wagon. It's happened to a lot of my friends. Their wives don't stop calling them.
So the question tonight is, if those texts would have gotten into trial, and the Heard team obviously wanted to get him in, thought they could get him in at one point in trial, would that have made a difference? Let's talk about it with our guests tonight. In Orlando, Florida, jury consultant and human behavior expert Susan Constantine, and in Woodlands, California, trial attorney Chris Melcher. Chris, to you first. The Elaine Brennerhoff is basically making a big deal out of this now post-verdict, saying, if we would have had these text messages in, this would have been a different outcome. Could this be part of the appeal, first off? And then also, do you think it would have made a difference had the jury heard or read a text from Steve Duders, the assistant, that said, when I told him he kicked you, he cried? Would that have made a difference?
I don't believe so. I mean, they're doing everything that they can to attack the legitimacy of this verdict. It was a 6-week trial. It was very well conducted, a fair process to both sides. And there was a mountain of evidence, a lot of inconsistencies in Amber's testimony. She was on the stand for days. Her testimony was inherently incredible. So to think that one text message would have wiped away all of the inconsistencies, the doctored photos, the photo of her having a bruise one day and not having the bruise the next day, it's unbelievable to think that that one text would all of a sudden wipe all that away and make the jury magically believe her.
Susan, it's one thing for the text message, because there were horrible text messages that were introduced at the trial here, but it's not as though Duders, the assistant, got up and said, I saw him kick her. He was relaying possibly a message that she told him and said, hey, tell him he kicked me. So that's different, is it not, these text messages? Because we watched it all play out, and I know where you stand in all this. You watched them both very closely on the stand, and you were just like the jury. You picked one of them that was lying and the other one that wasn't. What's your take on the difference between the text message and an actual witness, which they didn't have?
Well, a witness absolutely has more credibility than one small text. And I agree with your other guests 100%. There was such a mountain of evidence against her. We didn't need that text message. But had there been a real person that was testifying, who was credible, who was believable, and also had the credibility, that some of the other witnesses did on the Depp side, then yes, I think it would have mattered, but not just this text message. I think that there was just way too much already against Amber Heard, and I don't think that it would have made any difference whatsoever.
Elaine Brennerhoff thinks differently, and again, we were hoping to have that Shanley Painter interview to dissect this evening, but she had something come up, she said, at the last minute, and she's more than invited here on Court TV next week. Hopefully she will take us up on our offer. Chris Melcher, thank you for joining us tonight.